Welcome to my channel, detailing events throughout the decades. 2010 Pike River Mine Disaster. Any underground coal mining is considered a dangerous occupation. There are risks of asphyxiation and falling debris. There is a threat of explosions from methane gas, which is expelled by coal seams, and becomes potentially explosive when mixed with air. Most mines have good ventilation systems to stop any methane gas from building up, keeping those inside the mines safe. It was the afternoon of November 19. Men employed by Pike River Mine were busy underground. Men entered and left the mine at different times, like on most days. However, this day would be different. At 3:44 p.m., an explosion occurred, which disabled power and communication to the mine. At the time of the explosion, Daniel Rockhouse was busy refilling his loader in the tunnel, when the explosion blew him to the ground. When he came around, he was faced with a smoky atmosphere. Desperate to get out, he made his way down the tunnel, where he came across Russell Smith laying on the ground. Both men were still alive, but needed to get out. They both struggled as they tried to make their way to the mine's entrance. Both Daniel and Russell would be the only two survivors that day. 29 men who were working in the mine at the time of the explosion were thought to have died as a result of the explosion, or by suffocation. Over the next 3 days, there was confusion about the possibility of entering the mine. There was public pressure mounting, wanting rescuers to enter the mine. Families hoped that the men were somehow still alive. Families clinged to any hope that these men could be rescued alive, like those in the Chile mine disaster not long ago. But more explosions within the mine made it very clear that it would be too dangerous to enter, and the sad decision was made to seal up the mine, leaving the bodies of the men still trapped inside. These men ranged from ages 17 to 62. The youngest victim was Joseph Dunbar. This had been his first shift underground since celebrating his 17th birthday. Soon after the disaster, a royal commission was established to examine the events which led up to the tragedy that afternoon. It was in 2012 that the commission produced its report. It claimed that in chilling similarities to 8 other coal mine explosions, where men were killed, that the mine's management had overlooked the risks of methane explosions. It claimed that the first explosion was likely caused by the ignition of a large volume of methane. It claimed that managers who had been under pressure to increase coal production, had overlooked important safety issues. However, with no access to the mine to investigate, the precise location of the explosion remained unclear. After the report, the Department of Labor brought charges against the Pike River Coal Company, under the Health and Safety in Employment Act. At the time of the hearing, the company was under the control of receivers and did not attend the hearing. They were found guilty. In December 2014, it was agreed that the remaining funds from the Pike River Coal Company would be paid to the families of those men who had died. A permanent memorial was erected near the junction of Atarao Road, and the road up to the mine. 9 years after the tragic events of that afternoon, there were plans in place to try and re-enter the mine to retrieve the 29 bodies still trapped inside. It was on May 21, 2019, when a mine recovery team re-entered the mine for the first time since it was sealed in 2010. The recovery of the bodies and forensic analysis is expected to take several months to be completed. But for the families of those men killed, they will be able to lay their loved ones to rest. Thank you for watching and learning about these events in history. Please subscribe to my channel, to view other events now part of history.